She texts you asking what you're doing tonight. Most men would drop everything to see her. But what if I told you that saying, "I'm busy," actually increases your value in her subconscious? This isn't game playing. It's understanding how female attraction really works. Picture this. Two men approach a woman in a prehistoric environment. One brings gifts and constant attention, trying to win her approval. The other demonstrates his hunting skills and commands respect from his tribe without even looking at her. Modern dating advice tells men to be nice, attentive, and always available. This contradicts millions of years of evolutionary programming. Her attraction system doesn't respond to convenience. It responds to survival metrics hardwired deep in her biology. Hypergamy isn't a choice she makes. It's a biological mechanism that scans for superior genetic fitness and survival capability. Her subconscious constantly evaluates whether you represent an upgrade or a liability to her future offspring. This programming manifests as subtle irritation when you signal lower value than her own perception. She might not even understand why she feels turned off when you're too available. Her body literally produces stress responses when sensing vulnerability or neediness. Those tests she puts you through aren't personal attacks. They're her biological system stress testing your composure under pressure. When you drop everything for her, you trigger ancient danger alerts in her attraction circuitry. Modern comfort signals read as weakness to her primal instincts. Predictable validation feels like a liability because it suggests you have nothing better going on. Mysterious confidence signals that you possess resources and options. Understanding this biological reality transforms your frustration into strategic advantage. You stop taking her behavior personally and start working with her wiring instead of against it. Your composed detachment under pressure tells her ancient brain what it needs to hear: that you represent survival advantage rather than emotional burden. Her attraction system responds to demonstrated value, not declared intentions. This explains why men who act like they're nothing actually trigger the deepest attraction. Their behavior communicates that they have better things to do than seek validation. And that's exactly what her biology is programmed to find irresistible. Imagine your value as a stock market. The more shares you put on the market, the lower the price per share becomes. Availability works exactly the same way. Your time and attention follow the same economic rules as any scarce resource. Most men believe value comes from external achievements: your income, your appearance, your social status. They spend years building these things, thinking it will automatically translate into attraction. But that's only part of the equation. Research shows perceived value is primarily communicated through behavioral cues and emotional independence. How you carry yourself matters more than what you've accumulated. Your ability to remain unaffected by her approval or disapproval signals something deeper. Sexual market value operates on scarcity principles. Abundance mentality creates higher valuation because it suggests you have options. When you act like you don't need her validation, you communicate that other women already provide it. Front-loaded validation acts like currency inflation. The more compliments and attention you give freely, the less each unit is worth. Women constantly test your value through subtle behavioral probes. They'll check your availability, test your attitude, create comparison scenarios. Passing these tests requires understanding they're measuring your internal state, not your external resume. She's checking whether your confidence comes from within or depends on her reactions. The investment principle dictates that whoever cares less holds more power. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human dynamics. When you invest more emotional energy than she does, you signal that she's the prize and you're the pursuer. That dynamic automatically lowers your perceived value. True value isn't what you have. but how little you need her validation to feel complete. A man who derives his self-worth from internal sources doesn't require constant reassurance. His emotional independence becomes his most attractive quality. This explains why men who act like they're nothing actually signal they have everything to offer. Their lack of neediness demonstrates they operate from abundance rather than scarcity. That quiet confidence communicates more value than any resume ever could. Your behavior tells her what your words cannot, that you're the one setting the terms of engagement. Consider casino psychology. Why do people become addicted to unpredictable rewards rather than guaranteed payouts? It's the same reason women become addicted to men who don't always respond. Your brain responds differently to uncertainty than it does to certainty. Consistency and reliability are praised in relationships, but they kill attraction over time. Being the predictable nice guy who always answers immediately creates comfort, not chemistry. Comfort eventually becomes boredom in the attraction dynamic. Neuroscience shows that unpredictable reinforcement creates stronger neural pathways than predictable patterns. When she never knows when you'll respond or how you'll act, her brain pays closer attention. Uncertainty triggers dopamine release in the brain, the same mechanism behind gambling and social media addiction. When your attention becomes predictable, her attraction system becomes desensitized to your presence. She knows exactly what to expect from you, so her brain stops actively seeking clues about your value. Strategic distance creates cognitive dissonance. Her mind works overtime to resolve the uncertainty about your interest. This mental investment creates emotional attachment far beyond what constant availability generates. She spends mental energy wondering about you, analyzing your behavior, trying to solve the puzzle you represent. That mental work builds investment on her part. The shift from covert to overt communication signals her biological system escalating to secure your attention. When she starts texting first or asking direct questions, it means her attraction circuits are fully engaged. Her ancient wiring is trying to lock down a valuable partner before he disappears. Mastering intermittent reinforcement isn't manipulation. It's speaking the language of female attraction psychology. You're working with her biological programming rather than against it. This explains why absence fuels obsession, while presence breeds familiarity and contempt. Your unpredictable attention patterns trigger her brain's reward systems more effectively than constant validation ever could. She becomes addicted to the possibility of your approval rather than the certainty of it. That uncertainty creates the chemical conditions for sustained attraction. The addiction mechanism explains why women chase men who seem partially unavailable. Their brains respond to the challenge of winning your attention more than the comfort of already having it. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding how human attraction actually works at the neurological level. The addiction isn't to the man himself, but to the uncertainty he represents about her own value. Her fascination stems from the challenge of winning validation from someone who doesn't freely give it. Mastering this dynamic requires transforming your internal state before projecting external signals. You must build genuine independence rather than imitate detachment through games. True power comes from having better options and purpose beyond any one woman. When your life contains meaningful missions and multiple opportunities, your lack of neediness becomes authentic rather than performed. That authenticity creates the magnetic pull that artificial tactics can never replicate. Thank you for listening. If this message resonated with you, leave a like and subscribe for more.